Dear Grace, back in the studio again. Nice and quiet. Hopefully, for you. It is for me. See if this goes any better today. Continue our sleepy time story from last night. Help you get to sleep tonight. Or whenever you listen to this shit. Kind of forget where we left off, but I don't think it matters, so apologize if you hear a bunch of keyboard noises. But I do need to put this into a readable format for myself. And luckily, you need something boring. I've got something boring to do, so let's get it done. Number 201, Karma. 202, Joe. 6 years for a PhD. Leon, and a master's in biology. Joe, so you're a genius, Cat U? Cat U. Alright. 205, Cat U. I'm not a genius, but I do have an excellent memory. When something is out of place, my mind seems to stop until I can figure out what and why. Everything about the video was out of place. I was determined to figure out why. Simple as that. However, I was used to working in raw data, number, stats, probabilities, permutations, and more, but never a single source of data, and never a person being used as a source, a human who had thoughts, feelings, and emotions he was expressing privately to himself through words. I was essentially reading his innermost thoughts, his mind. Joe looks at Dave sipping his whiskey, all but ignoring the conversation. Joe asks, "This doesn't bother you, Dave?" Dave, no. Short and sweet. I like it, Dave. I fucking go on and on and on. Probably won't be able to hear the keyboard, Grace, because I'm going to hit noise suppression. But I assure you, I'm working hard. Format this. Alright. Leon. Number 212. Leon. At this point, Joe, we are almost 6 months into the data, and we still didn't know his last name. Well, he wrote with various last names, and we used May to try and find someone on the internet who used these names and looked like Dave, but no luck. He had zero internet presence. And then one day that all changed when he set up a bidder account. It was still a fake name as far as we could tell. God damn, we need some commas. Still a fake name as far as we could tell, but it was a name attached to a public social media account. I finally confirmed the feed was live, or at least local to Earth, and I had a way to find him. Joe, let me guess. Since you own Bidder, you looked at his personal information and what, his IP address? Leon. Very good, Joe. But no, it would be illegal and immoral for me to access any of my users' accounts. But yes, I could have. Dave, I would have. Leon, anyway, I didn't have to. Dave had a specific purpose in creating the account. Someone pissed him off. Joe, who? Leon, Tim Hortons, the Canadian coffee giant. .223, Cat U continues. I knew he was going to Tim Hortons during the day because he often returned with their coffee cups and occasionally a bagel or donut. I could tell you exactly how many times if you like. That's all in the data. Joe. So with one video feed, you really could tell almost everything about a person. Cat U. Nearly. Anyway, Dave posted a video of an elderly customer being denied the Washington Canada Day. He was writing at Tim Hortons when the man was denied, and Dave filmed the interaction. He was writing at Tim Hortons when the man was denied, and Dave filmed the interaction. He believed others would see the injustice and do something about the situation. They did not. Anyway, I'm speaking as if I know his emotions or intentions. I knew. Not know. Anyway, I'm speaking as if I knew his intentions, his emotions or intentions at the time. I didn't, but I could guess based on past writings. 2:30. Dave. She's right. I was pissed off at those fuckers for what they did to that man. Can we show the video? Number 230, Dave. She's right. I was pissed off at those fuckers for what they did to that man. Can we show the video? Jimmy brings up the video and they all watch a man, a customer, actually holding a Tim Hortons cup, being refused the washroom. Dave is instantly pissed off again. For the first time, Cat Yu leans over to Dave and touches his knee. The grimace on his face turns to a smile as he instantly forgets the past emotion. Joe notices a subtle interaction. Do you speak telepathically through touch? Cat Yu, no. Joe, sorry to get off track, but I have too many questions. Cat Yu, we'll answer all of them. Joe, okay. Cat Yu, I'll speed it up. The Tim Hortons video gave us a location, a place to find Dave. I gave that to Leon, and he sent his cousin Doug to find Dave at the Tim Hortons and follow him home. Joe, Doug the farmer detective. .241, Joe, Doug the farmer / detective. 242, Leon, exactly. But Doug couldn't find Dave at that Tim Hortons or at any in the area. He spent a week circulating between the stores, but no sign of Dave. 243, Dave, I boycotted those fuckers. 244, Cat Yu. And he started going to Starbucks. Once he bought a cup home, we figured it out. Doug started to hang out at the Starbucks near the Tim Hortons, and within 2 days, Dave showed up. We found him. Joe, clearly not an alien. 247, Leon, well, clearly not from an alien planet. I'm still not sure he's fully human, even though I've had both Dave and Cat Yu tested extensively, or extensively tested. But for some reason, tested extensively sounds better. Tested extensively and scanned. Both are perfectly normal humans, according to my doctors. .248, Cat Yu. Anyway, Doug followed him home, got his address, and determined he was living in a boarding house of some sort. Joe, Dave, does it bother you that they are telling this story as if you were not here? Dave, no. They spent 2 years talking behind my back. What difference does this make? Leon, I need to use the washroom. Cat Yu and Joel, me too. The three leave to reveal, The three leave to relieve themselves. Dave smiles and waves at Jamie, and then pours himself and Joe another whiskey. The three others notice a large pour on the return. On the return, I'm not dyslexic, but sometimes it really feels like I am. On their return, the three others noticed the large pour. Joe to Dave. Are you trying to get me drunk? Dave smiles, but doesn't respond. Joe. Okay, where were we in this story? How the fuck did you two get married and selected for the first 2 humans on Mars? Dave. Easy. I blackmailed them both. $2.59. Leon. Not true. I bought the house Dave was living in, Joe. Well, Doug bought the house, and then I knew everything I needed to know. Dave's full name, his age, his past, everything a regular private investigator, not Doug, could find out about him. And who what we were dealing with. Who what we were dealing with. And who what we were dealing with. 261. Joe, did you find out? 262. Cat you. Dave needed help. $263. Leon. We knew Dave had some hearing issues. Sometimes he would wear hearing aids, but not consistently. Maybe 4 days in a row, and then not for a week. It seemed to vary. When Doug finalized the sale, and the previous owners were explaining the details on all the tenants, the owner told Doug Dave was basically mute, and only communicated by email. Number 265. Dave. It's not that hard to keep your mouth shut when you don't care what anyone is saying to you. I found email an easier way to live. I had time to think about my responses. It's similar to this situation. I would love to speak to you, Joe, but until I can sync the thoughts in my head with the words that come out of my mouth, I prefer to remain mute. Use the computer. By only speaking words I write, even electronically like we are doing today, I'm confident I'm speaking my truth, my thoughts, but after I've had time to think about them. With Cat U and Leon explaining the basic story, I'm free to think about what I want to say, if I do decide to speak. 270. Joel. So physically you can speak fine? Dave. If I'm not reading out loud, I sound a bit like I haven't spoken for years. But yes, no physical reason. It's my choice to use a computer. Joel, I worked for Stephen Hawking. Dave, it wasn't his choice, but yes, the voice synthesizer is fine. Number 274. Cat U. Are you ready for the love story, Joel? 275. Joe, please, you're killing me with the details. Killing me with details. Cat U laughs. Dave, you should see your database. Everyone laughs. $279. Leon. A bit more background, Joy, and Joe. The house is in Canada, and by coincidence, in the same city where Cat U's cousin lived. Cat U was able to get a visitor visa to Canada, so I sent her there. And also by coincidence, like this was a movie script, not real life, there's an apartment free in the house. So I moved Cat U into the house, into Dave's house. I wasn't on the same floor, but I would get Cat U in front of Dave to see if he was completely out of his mind, or only partially. 284. Joe, why did you think he was out of his mind? 285. Cat U, because of what he wrote. At times it was normal, a story with a beginning, middle, and end, but other times it was all over the place, like he was writing 7 stories at once, and none of them made sense. 286. Dave, they made sense to me. 287. Cat U, we know. Dave shrugs his shoulders. 289. Cat U, anyway, we were led to believe that he was mute, so I wasn't sure how to approach him. Obviously, I can't confront him and say, by the way, I've been watching everything you do in your room for months. Are you a bloody alien or what? 291. 291. Joe, sorry I have to interrupt you. The comedian in me has an odd question. Was he ever naked in the room? Did you watch him, sorry to be so blunt. 293. Cat U, yes, I saw him naked. Often. I added an automatic blur filter to the feed to block it out, like Japanese porn, but I had already seen his package numerous times. However, I wasn't attracted to him or his body. I wanted to figure out where the feed came from, nothing more. 295. Dave, and I jerk off in the shower or in the dark, whichever feels more pathetic on any given day. Going to calm him mad. Grace. $296. Joe laughs. Dave smiles. Cat U continues. Because of the hearing aids, we thought he might be deaf and mute. So I spent a month learning ASL. I figured I could interact with him this way and set my plan in place. May I would alert me when Dave was preparing to do laundry, and I used this information to bump into Dave in the laundry room. $301. I wasn't sure what I was or what I was doing, but after I was confident Dave was in the laundry room, I took my own laundry to meet him. Joe, you're meeting someone you secretly watched for a year? Cat U, yes, and I'm not a good actress or good at lying. But everything I would say to Dave would need to be a lie, and he would have to believe me. 304. Joe, this sounds like an unbelievable movie. Cat U. I understand. I felt the same way, often. (305) Cat U. I understand. I felt the same way often. Nonetheless, the time had come. I went to the laundry room and saw Dave standing in front of a washer, wearing the same hoodie he wore nearly daily since I'd been watching the video. And for a split second, I froze when he turned around, looked at me, and said hi, like it was normal. 307. Dave, I always talk to hot chicks. You never know when there's a chance. Fuck that line up again. 307. Dave, I always talk to hot chicks. You never know when there's a chance. Everyone laughs. Cat U's embarrassed and flushes slightly. (309) Cat U. Now I was confused. I'd expected an ASL conversation at some point. But now I know. But now I didn't need it. 310. I stumbled through. Hi, I'm Cat U. I just moved in. He introduced himself as Dave. He didn't give his last name, which at this point I already knew was Jones. But now I had to remember never to let on that I knew his name until he mentioned it first. 312. Leon. Cat U has a photographic memory when it comes to conversations. Joe, what did you talk about? Cat U, not much. He explained the laundry setup to me and then left without engaging me more. Dave, I was playing it cool. Hot chicks don't like aggressive guys. Cat U, I'm not your chick. Dave, wife/chick. What's the difference? Cat U, you see what I'm dealing with, Joe? Joe laughs and pours Dave another drink. Dave seems to get funnier under the influence. He joins Dave and then lights. He joins Dave and lights up a new blunt to share. He joins Dave and sparks up a new blunt to share, offering it to Leon first, who takes it, but passes it to Dave quickly before the camera, showing him holding. (312) Cat U. Anyway, the ASL was a flop. Dave spoke with ease to me. His voice is quiet and soft, a bit hard to hear, but normal. 322. Leon. Sorry to interrupt, but we should also clarify that when Doug bought the house, we had a property inspection done. This included all the rooms in the house, including Dave's. 323. Joe, you wanted to find the camera. Leon, exactly. We got permission to enter his room, and on that day we waited until he took his normal trip to Starbucks, and then sent Doug and a fake inspector to search the room, physically and electronically, for any recording devices, any odd Wi-Fi signals, or any radio signal out of the ordinary. Joe, and you found the camera? Leon, we found nothing. We still didn't know where the feed was originating. I hope this is boring enough, Grace. I realize I'm reading a little fast, but what you could do is just reduce the playback speed to 1/2, and then it would be slower. and more boring. Or even a quarter. Then it'd last longer too. And then I wouldn't have to record an hour a day. A half an hour a day would be enough. However, in for penny. Mountain Dew Kickstart tastes good, but I can't figure out how much caffeine's in it. Alrighty then, where were we? Dave continued to write. I continued to read everything he wrote. I dutifully sent reports to Leon almost daily, but we are not making any progress. I was forced to use inside information on Dave to get him to open up to me. I knew his father had died recently. Dave didn't like his father's obituary and wrote his own version, which I read and loved. I hoped he would bring it up during one of our laundry rooms. I hoped he would bring it up during one of our laundry room chats. But Dave never mentioned it to me. So I asked him if his parents were still alive one day, and he said no. Both died when I was a teenager. I didn't know what to say. I wasn't expecting a direct, instant, and solid lie. I was confused. Clearly Dave was open to writing anything, but holding back truths in person. Joe takes a big breath, sighing. Leon, and then we got lucky. Dave, sensing a joke. I got lucky. Cat Yu raises her eyebrows at Dave and continues. My cousin Mary would visit me at the house on occasion. Dave is pretty much in routine, and there wasn't anything new to try to program with May I could basically predict Dave's behavior on any given day with a 95% accuracy. I can show the data if you like, Joe. Joe grins at the offer. No, that's okay. I believe you. Cat Yu. All right. Anyway, my cousin is a nurse, and she wears scrubs often, which will become important in a second. She was visiting me one day. She was visiting me at the house one day while Dave was out at Starbucks. I assume it was Starbucks. Dave, it was. If you really can't sleep, Grace, then watch what I'm doing, because that's boring as fuck. 3:41, Dave, it was. 3:42, Cat Yu without pause. And by coincidence, as she was leaving the house, Dave was arriving. Now, my cousin and I look a lot alike. Most people assume we are sisters, not cousins, and some think we are twins. I was walking Mary out of the house when Dave came in, and he seemed to take a step back when he saw us. Maybe it was the twin thing? Dave, it wasn't. Joel, what was it, Dave? Dave, Cousin Mary is very attractive. Stunning, really. Hard to take your eyes off her. Like Cat Yu. And I have a thing for women in uniforms. 3:48, Cat Yu. It's apparently his kryptonite. He instantly said hi to me in a different voice than he introduced himself to Mary and shook her hand. Big pauses, Grace, because I don't remember writing any of this, so it's kind of interesting to reread it. I'm actually intrigued with my own story, which I wrote, but I can't remember. All right. I'll try this sentence again. He instantly said hi to me in a different voice, and then introduced himself to Mary and shook her hand. We all talked for a few minutes, and then Mary said she needed to head home, and Dave suggested he walk her to the nearby metro station to be safe. 3:51. Was the area unsafe? Cat U. No. Doug bought the house for $4 million. All the houses in the area are near the same value, and the neighborhood was completely safe. I walked to the metro all the time, at night. I was never approached or harassed. Joe, I think I see where this is going. Glad Joe sees where it's going, because I can't. 3:54, Cat U, go ahead. 3:55, Joe, they hooked up. $3.56, Cat U. Correct, and Mary didn't know what I was doing at the house, my connection to Dave. She thought he was nothing but a housemaid. 3:57, so Dave got lucky? How did you and Leon get lucky? So Dave got lucky. How did you and Leon get lucky? Cat U. Dave started to talk. Well, he started to read out loud for hours. I didn't need audio on the feed to know this. I simply watched when he was reading his Kobo, and if his lips were moving, I could quickly walk by his door in the house and hear him, which was a risk, as I had no reason to be on his floor of the house, but 3:61, Joel, why is this significant? Yes, please tell me why this is significant. And also tell me why I can't remember writing all this. Motherfucker. 3:62, Leon. Because of his voice, we figured he had some sort of medical condition that prevented long conversations. Now we knew it was either a mental health condition or his personal choice. Plus, he seemed a lot happier after getting laid. Sorry, Cat U. Cat U, no, I agree. He was happier. Unfortunately, too happy. Joel, what do you mean? Cat U, well, he started writing like a madman, someone on a mission. He was writing a story about a benevolent dictator day and night, only stopping for a few hours of sleep. Dave smiling. I still like that story. Yeah, I can actually remember that one. Joel, Dave, do you want to tell the story? I don't mind an electronic voice. Dave, no thanks. I like Kate's version. Kate's or Kat's? Kat's version better. Joel, wouldn't they be the same? Dave, overall yes, but my approach isn't as PC as Kat's and Leon's. $3.74, Cat U. The problem, Joel, and what we haven't discussed yet was 374 Cat U. The problem, Joel, and what we haven't discussed yet is Dave was diagnosed with ADHD just days before entering the house and was taking Adderall on a regular basis. However, he was also using cannabis and mushrooms on occasion. Joe laughing. The drug hat trick? Sorry, it's the only Canadian hockey humor I know. Good try, Joe. Cat U. Yes, unfortunately he ended up in the penalty box, the hospital. Joe. OD. Cat U. In a sense, but not directly. But by this time, I could pretty much watch every word he typed in real time. And the story was okay, but not his best work. It was interesting, but it was interesting and funny. 3D1 Dave, be honest, it was fucking brilliant. Cat U sighs. She knows she has about 30 minutes or less until the booze in Dave's stream. Till the booze in Dave's system fully kicks in and he takes over the conversation. But Cat U knows how to shut down Dave. She tells him, well then publish it. Dave, when I'm ready. I decided I'm going to stop at line 400. Did 200 lines yesterday, 200 lines today. Might not be an hour, but you can just put the recording on loop. It'll be good all night long, trust me. Don't worry about a thing. And this will not give you bad dreams at all. Give you great dreams. Hopefully. 384, Cat U. After day 3, he only had about 6 hours total sleep. And didn't seem like he was going to let up. And it didn't seem like he was going to let up. Until now, Dave had either taken the correct amount of Adderall, or maybe double, but May I had no record of anything more. Now, however, he started taking them throughout the day. 6 or 7 times the dose. He stopped sleeping. Instead, when tired, he would take a cold shower and go back to work. I knew this was not good. The human body needs sleep, and when Leah and I talked about it, we decided to intervene. Joe, how? Cat U. Again, we got lucky. Not with the sex this time, but eventually Dave got hungry. He hadn't eaten for days, only energy drinks. Number 392. Dave. Joe, what she's not telling you for some reason was also opening the Adderall capsules and snorting them for a greater hit. But to be fair, I didn't know much difference with the snorting. At this point, I'm ready to call 911 and get a mental health check done, but I had no reason. That I could share with the police. He wasn't harming anyone else in the house, or causing an issue, other than using the showers every few hours. And since I didn't live on his floor, how could I tell the police I knew this? I couldn't. I was stuck watching a man possibly overdose in front of my eyes. .398. Cat U. And then I was about to call 911 regardless. As I was about to call 911 regardless, May I alerted me when he left the house without shoes and started walking towards 7-Eleven. By this time, Doug was at the house with me, trying to determine a reason he could call the cops as the owner, but we were unable to find one until Dave left. Walking down the street with no shoes is enough for an anonymous call to the police, which is what we did. Number 401, Dave. They ratted me out. 402, Cat U. We saved your life. 403, Dave. debatable, but alright, Grace, I'll end it there. So that's only 40 minutes. Perfect for me. And line 400 of, now have about good 700 lines to go, or 700 lines in total. I will talk to you tomorrow, Grace.